In this video, we are going to quickly review how to create a quality assignment that clearly communicates the expectations for submission and also the criteria for success. So in your Canvas course, you can create assignments from a few different places, but easiest way is to start in assignments. And in assignments, you will choose where to create the assignments. For more references on how to create assignments, you can visit the Canvas guides. We'll provide you with a link for that on creating assignments. But I do want to talk real quickly about a few different examples. So one, let's look at a non-example. In this example, I simply used my Canvas assignments as a grade book and put in cell parts worksheet worth 10 points. I know it's on paper, but a few things I'm missing is what is the student actually doing? What is the worksheet? What does it look like? What does the student need to do to complete that? And then also missing the due date. So this non-example is something we are really trying to avoid because we want to communicate the expectations for success and submission to our students and also to the observers. If there's parents out there that are trying to hold their students accountable, it's nice for them to be able to go into an assignment, know exactly what a student needs to do, and support them in the completion of that assignment. So this is definitely a non-example. We need to add a little bit more to have a more acceptable assignment. So a better example, which added very little to this, is I simply added just a sentence. Add a sentence or two of what students are supposed to do. Complete the assignment that you received in class and turn it into the teacher. That's really simple, but it's more than having absolutely nothing. I also included a due date. It's really important to update due dates. Even if you bump the date back a little bit, make sure you go in and update those due dates. So here's a better example. So at minimum, we want to start to include a short description of what needs to be completed. And finally, we'll take a look at even better example and kind of best practice, what we're shooting for. And that would be a little bit more. So I know in my class the students did a cell parts worksheet. I gave them a paper copy, but I'm also supplying them with a digital copy. If they lose that, they can find a printer and print that off. There's a few resources we used in class for our learning, a reading and a website, and so I provided them with links to access that information. And this is also nice for a student who has missed that class. They can go back into an assignment and there are some resources to support them in their learning. And then finally, I included a what to submit. I like to do this especially when we have multiple resources available for them. It may become confusing on what a student actually needs to submit, and so I like to just kind of highlight that with red and capital letters, and then so the students' eyes are always drawn to the end of the assignment and they know exactly what they're supposed to do for class. And again, we got a few hyperlinks in there, a due date. I still know it's on paper. And so that's just a review of kind of a non-example, minimum expectation of an example, and then a best practice example. This is definitely what we're shooting for. And real quickly in here, when you go into edit assignments, you'll have this rich text editor, and this is where you can grab files from your files. You can choose them. You can upload new files to add those in. If you have images that you want to add in as pieces of learning, you can do that. You can also add in, for example, hyperlinks where you simply just take a link from the web and you can copy and paste it right in there. If it happens to be a YouTube video, that YouTube video will embed right into Canvas. And then down here, when I change fonts, I simply highlight and go up here and decide what I want to change colors or change the font size over here. You can do a variety of things within the rich text editor. And then of course down here I got my assignment group and point values, submission type, and who this is assigned to in our due date. So if my due date changes, I can simply go in and say, you know what, we need 2 more days on this, and so I've changed that for everyone, and then I simply click save. I make sure that this assignment is published and it's ready to go. So again, quick review on creating these quality assignments, and we just want to again emphasize that it's really important to communicate with your students and the observers of your students so they can accurately complete their assignments.